JT, Ali, nice to see you both back at Whitstable again. Now, there's been a major addition since your last visit here. Is she pulling her weight in the road crew?
She can't seem to get her little fingers to wrap chords yet, but we're a few months away from that.
But she's really good for morale.
Good.
She's really good for morale.
Good,
Yeah.
good. And how is life on the road with her? Because obviously it's one thing to tour in your own country with a young family, but to come overseas.
Sure.
You know, it's been great. It's been, other than she's having her first jet lag experience this time. So she's topsy-turvy, sleeping a lot of the day and then up all night, you know, ready to play. But other than that, she's having a fantastic time, and she's doing great. And we've been very, very lucky because JT's mom, the wonderful Noreen Lindsay, is traveling with us. So she's in good hands, and Grandma's hands when we're on stage, so we don't have a worry.
Brilliant. Well, in the States, you've been playing with Carolina Chocolate Drops, and Rhiannon's got young family as well. Was it a case of swapping parenting tips between soundcheck and gig?
She is the guru.
No swapping.
There's no
just
swapping.
taking.
We have nothing to offer, but we were getting a lot of wisdom. We were getting a great deal of wisdom from Rhiannon and her husband Michael. They are doing it right. Their kids are absolutely wonderful, almost 5 years old and 14 months old. So it was very heartening for us to see that it can work.
Yeah,
and be
it was very
wonderful.
good to be on the road with them and to just see that, you know, it's not an absurd proposition to raise your family in a very you know, like kind of secure and loving and efficient, you know, road family. Like it's it was great to see because, you know, as I said, they have two of them out there, so it was wonderful.
Yeah, and they're fabulous kids. It was really fun to have the babies together as well.
Yeah.
They, you know, I was small enough that she was interesting to the other two as this little doll-like creature, you know. It was great.
When you were touring here last year, it was with your first album. You're here now with a live album. How did that come about? Was it the fact that you decided, let's put out a live album, or had you recorded some shows and thought, hang on, we've got something here?
No, it was, we decided to make a live album, and in fact, it's just one show.
We rolled the dice.
It's one of our favorite venues in North America, a little place just outside of Chicago in Evanston called Space, and it's really an amazing music venue. They're getting incredible artists through their Taj Mahal and you know, just all kinds of interesting, and the Preservation Hall Jazz Band, we saw them there, you know.
Ricky Lee Jones.
And it's only about, you know, at its max standing maybe 400, right? 350. And it's just an incredible, intimate, beautiful sounding, and they have a full recording studio that runs lines to the stage. So you are playing a live show for all these people, but there's this state-of-the-art recording studio behind the scenes, and we had always wanted to record there. And we decided that we wanted to put out another record this year, and we knew we were going to be going into the studio to do a studio album as well, but we had a wealth of material, some new stuff that we were trying out, but also back catalog from our two other bands that we've really sort of birdified, for lack of a better word. We've been doing these songs in birds, and we wanted to capture them as we do them together, didn't we? So
well, it's funny because that's something I wanted to ask you is my introduction to you. I'd seen a couple of clips online, but my introduction was when I saw you here last year, and you opened with a JT and the Clouds song, and there were Pogo songs in it. Was it always a case that, okay, we are Birds of Chicago, but we've got this back catalogue that we can now do something new and different with?
And we couldn't imagine doing it any other way. And, you know, while we've given Birds of Chicago, you know, we've named it and we've gone out of our way to kind of create a separate entity for that is in terms of marketing, like here's to the world, you know, it's a process of just a natural evolution. We've been playing each other's songs for a while, and
Pogo and the Clouds toured together a lot over the years, so
it's been a natural progression. It's been kind of a natural thing. So it's sort of like feels just like a larger family songbook at this point, and they're all fair game. And some of the songs from the Clouds catalog we've kind of recast as duets where Ali and I trade verses, and it's nice to kind of tap into that energy there, and so. Do you remember the first time that you actually played
or sang together?
Yes.
Because obviously you were aware of each other's
Yes.
work.
No, I remember it exactly.
1977.
No, I remember exactly. The first time I heard Jeremy play, or JT play, was it was 2001 in Vancouver, British Columbia, where I was living at the time, and he and his musical partner Michelle McGrath at the time, who sings on Mountains, Forests, and she sings on Birds as well. They came up for the Folk Alliance, North American International Folk Alliance, and we're playing like in front of an elevator, and I was blown away by them and too shy to go speak to them. And then 3 years later, in 2003, Po Girl, or 2 years later, we were putting out our first record. The Clouds were getting ready to put out their first record, and they were then relocated to Chicago. We were still in Vancouver, BC, and we started trading some shows back and forth across the border, and we all wound up once again at the Folk Alliance. In 2006 was the first time we actually sang together. So we'd done tours, we'd done some shows back and forth, but it was in the Houston Jones After Hours Showcase hotel room.
That's right.
And we sang Till It's Gone, which is a song that JT put out on the very first Clouds record, and that Po Girl covered on our third or fourth record. And we sang it together, and that was when we were like, oh, I gotta do more of that. Yeah. And that was 2006. Yeah.
Well, the first Birds of Chicago album, you both wrote for the album, but individually.
Yeah.
But you sang some of JT's songs like Galaxy Ballroom.
Yeah.
Were you writing with Ali's voice in mind with those songs, or was it just a case of working out?
Well, it's funny. I mean, a big part of the impetus for this project was just that. Like, I tend to spit them out a bit faster than Ali. Ali's a great writer.
He's much more prolific. 10 to my 2.
But the excitement of writing specifically for her voice, and then also writing, again, kind of tapping into some of that duet energy. We're both a fan of the kind of older tradition of duets, whether it's the countryside like George and Tammy Wynette and George Jones, or the soul side like Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. Those really kind of classic pairings where you have these very two distinct personas in a song, and so writing with that idea in mind was a big part of kind of the initial excitement for this band. And
Trampoline was the first song.
Trampoline was the first thing, where with that kind of to try my hand at that. And Galaxy Ballroom, actually, interestingly, was a song that I'd had written for a few years, but I always felt like it needed to come from a woman. So I would try it out every now and then and sing it, and it never felt entirely right coming from my voice. So I was waiting for the right lady to come along.
He has to tap into his feminine side. He writes really well for women.
But as a writer yourself, Ali, what are the challenges when you're approaching singing someone else's song, even when it's someone that you know so well?
Yeah, in our case, it hasn't felt too challenging. Every now and then
Should I leave the room for this answer?
No, you shouldn't. No, it hasn't felt too challenging. Every now and then I'll start out, my instinct is to interpret it one way, and then it will become clear that that's not really the direction.
I'll throw a fit.
You will never throw a fit. But yeah, you're absolutely right, because sometimes you're thinking, okay, there's this. But then the lovely thing is, because we do know each other so well and we spend so much time together, that we're pretty, it's gotten fairly telepathic at this point. So we mostly don't have any issues kind of that's part of why we played together in the first place, is that we were sort of drawn to the same things a lot of the time. So we're often our instincts are going the same way, and every now and again, if I'm too far out in musical theater land, he reels me in.
Just to ask you a couple of final things. Between life on the road and parenting duties, is there time for new writing and a new studio album? Yes.
Really what happened is our baby decided to gestate for 10 months instead of 9 months. And so we got off the road thinking, okay, we've got 2 weeks tops till this baby comes, and that stretched into 6 weeks. So I had not been off the road for that long consecutively in 13 years. And
for me, it's been about 4 years, but point being, we got a lot of songs written in that time,
particularly JT.
In general, it's a challenge with the baby, just finding the physical energy, because when you have your pockets of time, of course you want to
nap with the baby.
But I've gotten better about,
He's very disciplined.
sort of, at the very least, when saving ideas, like if you have a little fragment of an idea and you may not have time to flesh it out completely, you save the fragment and get back to it later. And, but it's an ongoing. That's an ongoing challenge.
He's been writing wonderful grown-up songs. I've been writing a lot of lullabies. So we'll see how it shakes out.
Well, there's a holiday album in it. Has to be. Well, it's really nice to see you back in Whitstable. We will look forward to a new studio album.
Yeah.
All the best.
Oh
for
yeah,
the
we didn't
live
answer that
album.
question.
we started recording.
We started
Right before
recording.
we
Right. We
and
got
you'll
about.
hear some of the new material tonight. Yeah.
Well, all the very best for everything, and particularly congratulations on your expanding family.
Thank you
thank you
so
so much.
much.